On March 8, 2014, a Malaysian Airlines aircraft did take off from Kuala Lumpur, but it did not reach its destination, Beijing. To this day, no one has known where this aircraft went or where it actually went. But after a full 8 years, we have finally found hope that this aircraft is now located. Welcome once again to History World Videos. Viewers, this is March 8, 2014. That is nearly 8 years ago. A Malaysian Airlines aircraft, Flight MH370, took off from the Malaysian capital, Kuala Lumpur, and was to reach China's capital, Beijing. This flight had 2 pilots, 10 cabin crew, and 227 passengers present, most of whom were from China. Both pilots were highly experienced, with the 53-year-old captain, Zahri Ahmed Shah, having 33 years of flight experience, while the 27-year-old co-pilot, Farik Abdul Hamid, was a junior pilot with 7 years of flight experience. Speaking of this plane, it was an 11-year-old Boeing 777 with no problems of any kind. And in the past, this aircraft had never suffered a mechanical or electrical accident. The main point is simply this, that this was between Malaysia and China, a completely normal flight, which flew 5 hours and 34 minutes daily from Malaysia to China, or from China back to Malaysia. But today for this flight was by no means normal. Rather, it was far more than abnormal. Admittedly, Flight MH370 had to fly only 5 hours and 34 minutes. But before takeoff, it was filled with excess fuel which allowed it to fly for 7 hours and 41 minutes in total. That is, more than its requirement, 2¼ hours longer. Doing this is also an airline's routine practice, so that if the plane is diverted in bad weather or in an emergency to somewhere else, then it has extra fuel available.
Delivery Manager 370, good morning.
Malaysian 370, standby. Malaysian 370, request level.
370, we are ready, requesting flight level 350 to Beijing.
It was the day of March 8th, 2014, and at 12:42 p.m., Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur as usual. First pilot Zahri, before and after takeoff, was in direct contact with Kuala Lumpur Air Traffic Control Tower as well. As soon as it took off, the aircraft turned its direction toward the South China Sea, and exactly 20 minutes later, that is, at 1:09 p.m., the transponder installed on the aircraft sent its current GPS location to the radar of Kuala Lumpur Air Traffic Control Tower. This is a transponder's automatic function, which, every short while, sends its current location to nearby radars. Exactly 10 minutes after that is, at 1:19 p.m., when Flight MH370 left Malaysian air jurisdiction and was heading to Vietnam's air jurisdiction, the Kuala Lumpur Control Tower contacted first pilot Zahri for the last time and uttered these words.
Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9, good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
This meant that now Flight MH370 should contact the control tower of the Vietnamese city of Ho Chi Minh. First pilot Captain Zahri heard this message and also responded to it.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Good night, MS370. Count Malaysia 370. Neither the control tower knew, and perhaps Captain Zahri did not either, that this goodnight message of theirs was going to be received by MH370 and would be the last message. This was the time when, after the flight took off, a full 37 minutes had passed. Now, normally it happens that until the plane reaches its destination, it stays in contact with any major airport that comes its way via the air traffic control tower. And something similar was going to happen here as well. But everything that had been running normally until now started to go abnormal. Yes, just 3 minutes after its final message, when the Ho Chi Minh Control Tower saw Flight MH370 disappearing from its radar, they felt something was off. They immediately wirelessed to ask the captain how he was doing, but no one responded from the front. For the next 18 minutes, the Ho Chi Minh Tower kept trying to contact MH370, but still no reply came from the captain. And then the Ho Chi Minh Tower contacted the Kuala Lumpur Tower and updated them on the situation. Now, normally under these conditions, within 1 hour, the rescue center must be informed, but the Kuala Lumpur Control Tower, after a full 4 hours, informed the Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Center, and by then it was very late. It was 6:15 a.m., and this was the time when MH370 was to land in Beijing. There was hope that perhaps the aircraft would land in Beijing on time, but no good news came from there either. Anyway, at 6:32 a.m., exactly at the spot where the plane had disappeared, a search operation was launched there, in which 34 ships from 7 countries and 28 aircraft began searching for Flight MH370 at the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea border, starting to look for it. But unfortunately, there was not even a trace of the plane. By that time, the whole world had learned about the incident. TV, news websites, and social media were all showing only this news. For the next full 4 days, this search operation continued, but no good news came from anywhere. But then on the 4th day, a report came that shook the entire rescue operation team to a pulse. On March 8th, at 1:21 a.m., when Flight MH370 disappeared from radar, it had disappeared from civilian radar, but on a military radar of the Malaysians, it kept showing for the next hour. After disappearing from civilian radar, the aircraft for a few minutes began to turn right, and then made a U-turn and turned back toward Malaysia. After a full 31 minutes, the aircraft crossed Malaysia's city of Penang, and then toward Malacca Street turned. The last time the military radar reached that distance, Flight MH370 was detected up to this point in the Indian Ocean, and it was 2:22 p.m. at that time. After that, MH370 did not show up on military radar, nor on any civilian radar. What was worse than that was that the plane had made a sharp U-turn in the opposite direction of Beijing, and why it did that. The rescue team that had previously been searching in the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea for the plane had now started searching in this part of the Indian Ocean as well. But surprisingly, even here, the plane's whereabouts were not found. It turned out that the plane did disappear from military radar at 2:22 p.m., but there was a satellite it was in constant contact with. For Boeing airplanes, this is a normal thing, that when their own communication system fails, for some reason they try to contact the satellite. The plane automatically, every exact hour with the satellite called Inmarsat, attempted to make contact. With the saved data on this satellite, experts performed a complex calculation, and it turned out that after disappearing from military radar as well, the Malaysian aircraft kept flying for the next 5 hours over the Indian Ocean. At 8:19 a.m., the plane attempted for the last time to make a connection with the satellite, and this was the very last signal received from MH370. Experts believe that 2,000 kilometers west of Australia, at a curved spot in the Indian Ocean, the aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed. A deep-sea search operation was launched here and continued for years, costing more than $160 million, but no trace of the plane was found. In 2015, the plane's right flaperon was found on the island of Reunion. Experts believe that when MH370 crashed into the water, the flaperon was not extended, meaning the aircraft sank headfirst into the sea. Over the years, more debris was found along Africa's coast, but the plane and passengers were never found. Some believe the plane was hijacked. Others believe an electrical failure caused loss of oxygen. The truth lies in the black box, still missing in the Indian Ocean. In February 2022, British aerospace engineer Richard Godfrey claimed to have identified the plane's exact location 4,000 meters below the ocean. Whether a new search will begin or not, only time will tell. We hope this History World video will be liked and shared. Thank you very much. See you in the next great video.